We're going to be starting our installation on the workbench. The parts you're going to need are the flat bracket along with the post. You're also going to need your M6x10 socket head, and you're going to need your M8x12 button head. The only tool you're going to need is a 5mm hex. And what we're going to be doing is you'll see that the two holes on the bottom correspond with the two holes on your flat bracket. You're going to put your bolt through and screw it in to the back of the post. And then you're going to do the same thing with the socket head. And then take your 5mm hex and tighten it up. And now we will move on to the bike. For the next step, you're going to need the bracket that you just assembled. You're going to need 4 of the M6x12 socket head bolts, as well as your 5mm hex. You're going to take the assembly you just put together, and you'll see at the end of your max mount you have a hole. Your post is going to fit through this from underneath. And then you're going to fasten it through these 4 holes. So go ahead and put the bracket through and then start putting in the bolts. And then take your 5mm hex and tighten them up. You'll notice that in this opening there are 2 holes, and they correspond with the 2 holes on the bottom of this bracket. We're going to attach this with the 2 M6/16 socket head bolts. And you're not going to tighten these up, you're going to leave it loose so that when we put on the luggage rack, you'll be able to get it perfect. Now we're going to attach the luggage rack. To do this, you're going to need 2 M6x16 pan head, and you're going to need 1 M8x20 pan head. You're going to need a 4mm hex and a 5mm hex. When you're putting your luggage rack on, you're going to be able to move it forward and back. You'll see that this is going to correspond with these 2 holes. When you place it there, this is going to be the further forward position. You can also move it backwards to get into a further back position. You're going to take your M8x20 and thread it in. And then you're going to take your M6/16s and you're going to put them into the forward bracket. You're going to go ahead and tighten these all up. Once that's complete, you're going to go ahead and tighten the bottom of this bracket that you put in, that you left loose earlier. To attach the backrest pad, you're going to need the pad itself, and you're going to need the angled bracket. The side with the 2 holes mounts to the bracket that's on the backrest pad. And you can adjust the height of the backrest pad by changing where you bolt it. Like this would be the highest part, the middle, and the lowest. And this is going to take a 4mm hex to tighten it up. Now we're going to attach the backrest assembly. All you're going to need is a 4mm hex and 2 of the flathead bolts. And the way this works is this bracket slides underneath the luggage rack, and these holes correspond with any of these holes. Just slide it underneath, choose the location you want to put it, and then just put your bolts in and tighten them up. And the installation is complete.